Hello plant community, thanks for tuning into this channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Pam, and today's topic, you guys, is I'm going to share with you the plants that started my entire plant journey. So these would be my OG plants, so to speak, that I've had for at least 3 years or more. It's about 11 plants, so I'm going to try to whip through them a little bit fast. They're not in any particular order, but they still provide me joy so many years later, and I've learned a lot of things from these plants to help me provide the adequate care for all the other plants that I've acquired throughout the years. So let's just get right into it. I'm going to start off with my OG heartleaf philodendron. I'm going to show a picture, you guys, because I have it on my wall display in my bedroom. It's growing through a trellis, very long, very full top, and of course I couldn't take it down for you guys to see it, but if you see the photo, you guys, it's very full. I'm very proud. I think I had this plant for almost about 5 years. Very emotional and heartfelt to me. And I'll get into that a little bit later after I show you the next plant. But very beautiful, very full, very rewarding. And I would highly recommend this plant if you are a beginner plant parent, or you're thinking about getting into indoor planting. Then the heartleaf philodendron, you can't make any mistakes by getting that plant. Now my next one will actually be, I'm going to show you, is my red prayer plant. This I had for the same time period as I had the heartleaf. Oh, look at this. I forgot of watering, you guys. See what happens when you forget the watering. Now, I had this for almost 5 years, and you may say, wow, this doesn't look as big or as, I don't know, as lush for a 5-year plant. But this plant, along with the heartleaf philodendron, was a part of a funeral arrangement for when my brother passed. And so the arrangement itself had literally, the heartleaf philodendron I think had about maybe like 3 leaves in it, and this one was the same. So considering that I was able to do all of this from just 2, possibly 3 leaves, I think it's pretty good. And I think I also did a propagation. I put a propagated portion back into here where it's also starting to take off. So I have new growth here, a growth point there, and a growth point here. I actually kind of like talked about, I think, these 2 plants in one of my very earlier videos when I first started doing this whole YouTube journey of mine, so to speak, where I kind of like talked about that and how these 2 plants really was the gateway to having me reintroduce myself to becoming a indoor plant grower. And I am so glad these 2 plants that I just mentioned are probably my top favorite, or more sentimental to me than probably my absolutely entire collection, because in some odd way these plants kind of remind me, or is just a more of a remembrance or homage to my brother, and whom I love very much. So I really do admire these plants just for that reminder of love between siblings. So next one is actually behind me here, and I'm going to show y'all a little quick video clip of how it is trailing, and that is the philodendron Brazil behind me. Probably can't see it, but I have it going up my wall, and if you see the video, you'll see. I'm extremely proud of this plant because, you guys, I ordered this plant online. When I got it, it was extremely wet. Leaves dropping left and right. I was still a beginning plant parent, not fully understanding about how to get rid of, I guess, dampness within your plants, and so it practically died on me, you guys. I pretty much lost every leaf. I literally had nothing left but the wet sticks, and I took it out of the wet soil. I repotted it in a nice, more drier soil mixture, and I just took my water bottle and I spritzed the wet sticks and kept it underneath of a growing light, and then all of a sudden 1 leaf emerged, and then one after another, and I say 4 years later, we have the plant that you guys see right before you. So I'm really extremely proud of that plant. Talking about somebody coming back from the brink of death, that's one of those plants, and I'm so glad I have it in my collection. I'm really attached to it. So my next plant, let's see, I have to introduce this plant, you guys, because this is one of my oldest plants as well. One of my top promoting plants. If you've been watching my channel, you probably can already guess it. The one that I've been promoting so much because a lot of people don't talk about it. A lot of people believe they can't grow it in their homes. And I'm saying, yes, you can. You can do it. You can grow it in your home too. And that is this Petra Croton. Not as full as it once was, but it is making a comeback, you guys. If you watched my video where I was talking about having this struggle with this plant, the spider mites and everything, but this plant, like I said, is making a comeback, and we've fought the spider mites and we won the battle. So it's been putting off new shoots slowly but surely, but once again we're about to enter that dormancy period where this plant will take a rest. But I do know that it is loving its conditions, because as you can see right here, this thing right here is a bloom. And let's see, do I have another one anywhere else? Okay, I did have other blooms, but over time, and I'm looking, yeah, I did have other blooms, but over time they will bloom, produce those little yellow flowers, and then they'll fall off. But listen, you guys, I got this plant, this croton, to bloom inside my home. So I challenge you, actually, grab a croton, give it a lot of light, that proper humidity, and make sure that this plant doesn't dry completely out, but I say about like 80% of the soil is dry. Give it a nice drink, and it will reward you with color. I can't believe the plant community really isn't really pulling on this, but it gives out that tropical vibe, and I will not give up on this plant. I love this plant so much, and I hope that I can get it to grow to be a tree. When I first brought it, it was very compact and short, just like this right here. And look at all the growth that it's given me. Even though I've had some challenges, but you are going to have challenges, and it's still never let me down. It's still been rewarding me with all the hard work that I've been putting in to rescue this plant. So I couldn't be prouder. Now, my next plant, equally as proud because of the growth rate, and that would be just my regular rubber tree. I've talked about this plant recently in my rubber tree care video, I believe. This plant I've had for a while, and when I first brought it, it was actually a 2-inch planter. It came not by itself, it came actually with other plants, which was kind of crazy. It came with these plants right here. So that's actually the red ruby Ficus elastica, and it was actually this size. Believe it or not, this is just starting to take off now. But look how big the leaves and the growth pattern has gotten from a 2-inch pot, y'all. And it, so one of my best things as far as being a plant parent is actually looking back on some of the plants that you've gotten that was actually small specimens, and now they're big and thriving well because of the care that you're giving. It's nothing more rewarding than that, in my personal opinion. But I really do love this plant. Now I'm going to share with you guys another Ficus elastica. I guess this is the variegated version of my Ficus benjamina. Let's see if I can pull it up. This right here is one of my oldest plants as well. When I also brought this plant, you're like, okay, it doesn't look that great. Trust me, this plant looks excellent, because this plant is a fussy thing. You know you are a fussy thing, baby. This plant is a fussy thing, and does not like being moved. Oh my gosh, you guys. You move it out of a spot that it loves, it will not forgive you. It will really show off. It will have a tantrum and start dropping leaves left and right. And it kind of did that for me when I moved it one time. And it scared me so bad, I said, okay, I get it. Benjamin, I'm going to move you back. And that's what I did. But I just love the leaves. Look at that variegated version. And I kind of actually like it like this because it looks like a small dainty tree. And this plant, you guys, when I first brought it, was also in a 2-inch planter, and the leaves were literally baby, and it probably was the height of, I don't even know if you can see, probably the height of this. It was very tiny specimen. I wish I had a photo of it so I could show y'all, but I don't think I do, unfortunately. But this plant has grown tremendously for me. I'm actually proud of it. I appreciate it actually like this. And so it sits on my table in here, right directly underneath my Sansi light. Please don't act up because I moved you over here just for the video. I promise you, when the video is over, I will move you back. If you could just hold off your tantrum, I would truly appreciate it. Now, back to our regular broadcast. So let's go back. Let's see, my next plant, you guys. I'm going to show you, speaking of rewarding you with growth from such a small specimen, I got to point out this baby right here. This is one of my OG plants, and this is my Monstera Adansonii. At this point, I can put it on the floor and it's still my height. Now, I did cut this plant back because as it grew to the top, it started giving me small leaves, and I want the plant to maintain, let's see, I want it to maintain, let's see, these beautiful leaf size, so I kind of cut it back to the top, but it's still tall. You guys, when I first got this plant, it probably was in a 4-inch planter, and it wasn't even trailing yet. So this is years worth. I've had this plant for 3 years now, and it's just really been giving me good growth. And I have it on this stake, and I've noticed that some of the aerial roots has started attaching itself to this wooden stake here. So I'm hoping that the leaves will start really maturing and get big, but if it does not, I'm going to keep cutting it back until it maintains at least this size of the leaves. And my goal is to actually cover this thing. It's doing very well, very easy care, and I mean, it is just, guys, a very vigorous grower under the right conditions. I love it. I'm so glad I have it, part of my collection. Let's see. Now, let's see. Oh, I want to show you this plant right here. I don't know what variety it is, you guys, but this is one of my snake plants, one of my oldest snake plants. It's not that full in growth, and the reason why is because I do have this plant in one of the darkest areas of my home, and I'm okay with that. I'm perfectly fine with just it being just this size. One leaf did kind of drop off a little bit, and I've just been mindful to not overwater it. I did try to water this plant a lot when I first got it. A beginning plant parent, as we always do, not understanding water versus energy that it uses. And I didn't have it in a bright spot. So this one right here, I just really do love it. It's very beautiful. It's kind of bendy. I was actually thinking about maybe next summer, spring, summertime, next growing season, to actually put it outside on my porch to see if I can really get some more leaves to pump out. We'll see. That's if I can get it to stay alive throughout this upcoming dormancy period. But I love this plant nonetheless. Now my next plant, let's see, is this plant. I've had this for, I'd say, about 2.5 years. It's my Aglaonema, my Maria Aglaonema. And this plant, you guys, very beautiful. This plant has bloomed for me numerous of times, especially since I've had it or moved in this house or had it in this sunroom. And this is one of the blooms right here. They have the Spedex and the Spath in there, similar to a peace lily. Very beautiful plant nonetheless, very easy care. I don't have this plant literally in what I would consider a very bright area of my home, but it is getting some medium indirect light, and it tends to love it from the sides nonetheless. It's not even getting light on top. It's getting just enough light to photosynthesize from the sides, because I have it sitting on the lower level of my stand here beside one of my chairs in my sunroom, and it's being blocked on top. But magically, you guys, this plant has stayed full. Now, full disclosure, you guys, when the original plant in here is probably 2 of the stalks. Now, I did buy another one to put inside to make it full. but it was because it was just 2 stalks, but it's still this part where it's blooming is part of the my old plant. But guys, aglaonemus is another plant that I would say for a new plant parent, highly recommend you guys. It's very easy care, very easy on your pockets. Don't really want much. Let the plant completely dry out before you give it some water. That's the key. I love this plant to death. Let's see, where's my other, I think I have just the 2 more. Oh, 2 more. Now this one I'm going to show you is my Scindapsus Pictus Aegerius, and it's trailing. You see how the leaves are curled right here? I gotta give it a drink, it's thirsty. I'll give it some water when we finish this video. Yeah, clearly I forgot the water because it's crispy leaves right here and 1 yellow leaf. Now, this plant, you guys, came from the mother plant. I took actually, I say a cutting of 2 leaves, maybe 3, from the mother plant. Now the mother plant died actually last year because I had it in this room, and that was when we had our first winter in here, and I had to find out at the last minute of the airiness that was going on in here. So I had to do some preparation and things like that. And in the midst of that, needless to say, that plant took a hit. But because it started declining and I knew that it would decline, I took a cutting actually way before it even started declining, and I was so glad that I did, and I was actually able to propagate it. And this came from actually putting it back in, cutting and putting it back in. As you can see, you guys, the top is very bald now, but I did plant these back in there, and it got this new shoot. But look at all of this, you guys. So I may actually, probably not now, but maybe next growing season, I don't know. I have it sitting on like one of those black rings, so you really don't see it from the top. So I don't know how important it is for me to make sure that it's not bald at the top, but you do see all of this, so I do appreciate that. I may just go ahead and just chop it back a little bit and try to root it and put it back on the top, so that make sure that it does start to be a little bit more fuller. But I love this plant, very communicative when it needs a drink, can't go wrong. I have it hanging in the wall in my dining room, and it loves it. Now my last plant, you guys, I have actually chilling in my bedroom. This is another older plant for me, and this is just my regular, this thing is compact, it's grown tremendously, you guys. It is my regular peace lily. This peace lily has actually bloomed for me this past growing season, and it was not as full as it is now that you see before you. When I first got this plant, it was literally probably maybe like 2 or 3 stalks of it in a 4-inch planter. And I'm quite sure if I gave it more intense light, it's getting subtle light in my bedroom. It's where I have a window, but it also is an awning, so it does block some of the light. So it's getting a medium type of light. It's getting enough light where it's really loving it, but I mean, it's compact, and I kind of love it being compact here. I gotta probably get rid of this leaf, is yellowing, as older leaves tend to do. I can just actually, yeah, rip it off. But you guys, I really love it. It's nothing, I have, like I said, I have it in my bedroom, and it's nothing more relaxing or rewarding than to go to sleep at night and wake up in the morning surrounded by foliage. It's very calming and relaxing, and you really can be in tune with oneself. Have yourself a nice cup of relaxing tea. For me, I drink chamomile, by the way, which is very relaxing. It helps, goes with the style of what I try to create in my bedroom, just a form of relaxation. And I really am glad that this is a plant that is very rewarding. It's giving me constant shoots, like it has one right here, constant new leaves, and I mean, it's so full, so shiny, so lush, and I love it. And I think, you guys, let's see, want to go around? All right, I believe that is the last plant of my OG collection. Comment below, you guys. Let me know if you have any of these plants in your home. How much joy has they given you? Are there any challenges that you've had with these plants? What tips, care tips you have to share with this beautiful plant community that we're trying to grow here? Let me know. As always, I appreciate talking to you guys. The information that y'all share in the platform is outstanding. Keep it coming. So that wraps it up, you guys. Keep in mind, if you love foliage as much as I do, you love listening to planty things, you know what to do. Subscribe to this channel. Give me big thumbs ups, you guys. Help support my channel. Or you give me a thumbs down. Oh, I really wouldn't want that. But I respect your opinion regardless of whatever it is. Enjoy your day wherever you are in the world, you guys. And until next time, guys, much love. Bye.